How are you doing? I'm doing well, this is like what, the third take or something of my Chatette video that I've got planned in my mind. The reason why I originally had it sort of in a nice sort of frame and shot and everything. Unfortunately, couldn't hear my voice, so kind of panicked. So the second time, I was too close and you could kind of see inside my mouth, which was kind of disgusting. But so this time, I don't know, maybe we'll just go with what we've got here. Basically, I wanted to update you all on what I'm doing in everything very quickly. Hopefully, to give you an understanding of where I want to go and what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and blah 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 blah. As you can see, no beard. I've been given an opportunity to potentially get another job. I've not really touched upon it much in other videos, so I'll explain. I was recently made redundant, and I've been taking my holiday, extended holiday, quite well. Although obviously the reality of the situation started to dawn upon me. So I took it upon myself to obviously go and look for work, and I've been very fortunate. I may potentially have a job. I don't know. If it doesn't work out, then there might be other options. Who knows? It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of kicked my backside a little bit to really make sure that I get the best of things, and I'm hoping that I do that. In the meantime, obviously, I've got a fat redundancy package and blah 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 blah. So it's not the end of the world. Hopefully, if I get a job at the moment, then I'll be able to put a little bit more into the collection, into my collecting, into the games and into the computers and into the things like that. Maybe. Fingers crossed. Where I want to go with the content, where I want to go with stuff is I've got an N64 which is lying there completely unused, which disappoints me. That needs changing. Unfortunately, aside from the odd game and things like that, the main thing is I want to get some kind of device, be it what Game Straight one has, you know, the CDs where you can drop the games on a CD, or some kind of flash card. I'd like to go down that road. I'd like to have the M64 permanently set up. That's something I'd like to explore. The Atari 65XE, again, similar situation. I don't have a tape deck for it, so I'd like to. I've got quite a lot of games on cassette for the Atari, so I'd absolutely love to get some kind of tape deck for it, and then I'll be able to play games and do some videos on those. The big thing for me that is within reach is the TurboGrafx 16 flash card or similar. There's an EverDrive one, which, as we all know, if we all keep in touch with the technology side of things, the EverDrives, they are an amazing product. They do things quite brilliantly. In terms of putting games, having a games collection like instantly on a card or something similar, they are genius. There is one in the works for the TurboGrafx 16. In fact, I think it's going to be out relatively soon. Again, you're looking at an expensive product, so kind of prohibitive to most people. However, there is a smaller, kind of more budgety version of that, which very much interests me and would be very interested to look into that. I do have an old-fashioned TurboGrafx 16 flash card with PC Engine stuff and things like that. It's that old, it uses like a parallel cable. I cannot get a cable that would work for it for my computer, because both my computers don't have that, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm slowly getting odd games here and there for the NES. I'd love to get something flashcard related for that, just to keep it on the go and keep it going nicely. And yeah, I mean, at the moment, the systems that I have, I would like to get bits and pieces for those, but I am excited by the possibility of new systems. Love to get a 3DO, specifically a Panasonic 3DO. Love to get a CDI. I've been watching a lot of videos about the CDI, and generally there's a very negative view on how the CDI is and what it can do, and people just don't generally like the CDI and its software. I love it. When people say that, that makes me watch. It makes me want to get it. The CDI generally has a lot of software. Some people say it's of dubious quality. I'll be honest, dubious. I'd probably rename my middle name to Dubious because I love all that kind of thing. So yeah, in terms of games systems that are kind of out of my reach, the Neo Geo AES is a big fish for me. I would love, adore, fall to my knees and be so thankful if I had an FM Towns or FM Towns Marty. That is huge for me right now. Although they are insanely expensive, ridiculously, prohibitively expensive. I would love to have one of those. There's two machines that I am very interested in getting, and they are becoming more and more affordable for some reason. The ones that I've seen are getting a lot cheaper and are becoming a viable option. The first one is the PCFX. I've wanted a PCFX for so long now. The first time I saw a PCFX anything was in Retro Gamer magazine. They did a little retro inspection on it, and blown away. Got emulators, got a few bits and pieces for it, the system, and wow, basically impressive. So would love to get one. The fact that it looks like a PC tower as well is the icing on the cake for me. The next one, which I'd be more inclined to get over the PCFX, purely because of its rarity, and from my point of view, is the Sharp X68K or X68000. Of the games I've played on it, there are some absolutely insanely good arcade conversions, arguably better than the arcades. Case in point, Camel Tree and Final Fight. There's a great conversion of Castlevania, Kumaju Dracula, on the Sharp, and there's just some insanely good games there. The conversion of Marble Madness that's on the Sharp 68K is pretty bloody good. Pretty arcade. Well, it's in my opinion, to look at it, it looks pretty much arcade perfect. So impressive, very much so. So basically, at the moment, the big fish are the Japanese machines, the Neo Geo AES, the Sharp 68K, X68K, and the PCFX. If I can get those, yeah, it would definitely change me. It'd be life-altering stuff. If I can get stuff for the existing systems as well, that'd be great. My goal is to have working systems that have the ability to play their catalogue of games or their catalogue of stuff, and basically be relevant. I want to make the systems that I get usable and relevant. There's a lot of consoles and games and computers and things where they're kind of pretty much redundant, in the sense that they don't, by nowadays standards, they're not really you know, they're not really useful, relevant, playable, whatever. I want to try and do something to them to make them relevant. So I mean, like at the moment with the Spectrum is now it's like the ultimate games machine thanks to the Divide interface. Fantastic. I'm absolutely buzzing off of that. And basically, I want to do that with all the machines that I own, and just try and just give something a little bit different to you guys when I do my videos. But we'll see. In the meantime, there's work and life, realistic things going on that I need to be, you know, dealing with. And so for that reason, you might find that I don't upload as much, or I don't say as much. I don't know, but we'll see. I'll certainly not neglect the channel. Oh, that's me, guys. Right, I've got to go. I'll see you in a bit.